A class has a collaboration or uses a relationship when the class uses another class that is otherwise unrelated. For example, the customer repository uses a customer instance to populate data. Implement this relationship by creating an instance of the collaborating class and accessing its properties or calling its methods. A class has a composition or has a relationship if the class is made up of or composed of parts from other classes. For example, an order isn't an order unless it has a customer, shipping address, and set of order items. There are two ways to implement a composition relationship. Implement composition with a reference property if you want to retain and load the related object or list of objects as part of the main object. In this example, the order retains its set of order items. Implement composition using an ID property instead if you want to retain the relationship but don't always need all of the related objects' data. In this example, the order has a customer ID to establish the relationship between the order and the customer. A class has an inheritance or is a relationship when defining classes that are a more specialized version of another class. For example, here we define more specialized versions of the customer class. This relationship is useful when understanding the business requirements, but only implement this relationship if the specific class type adds unique code. In this example, the derived types did not add any unique code, so we implemented the customer type as a simple type property in the customer class, instead of inherited classes. Recall the first two pillars of object-oriented programming we discussed earlier in this course? Abstraction helps us map the business requirements to an initial set of classes. Encapsulation helps keep our properties and method code protected within the class and only accessible through a public programming interface. Inheritance is the third pillar of object-oriented programming. It helps us leverage reuse. Speaking of reuse, now that our classes and their relationships are defined, let's take a focused look at reuse. We'll revisit inheritance and how we can use it and other object-oriented programming techniques to reuse code.